Okay, hello grade 10. I hope you had a great Easter. So this is just going to be a short video that's going to go over what we're going to do this week. So what we're going to start with is a review of the geomorphology unit, okay? Where you're going to just make some short revision notes on the causes of weathering, types of weathering, etc. You can see all of the kind of main headings, subtopics that will be needed. The reason for this is that you're going to have as your assignment this week. So I've said make revision notes based on these headings. So like we've done about that, like round the clock, we made like other types of revision notes. These will be really helpful for you in the future. So make those. Then you're going to go onto Plus Portal and there is a quiz that will be set up. Okay, I think you can access it from today, maybe tomorrow. I'll double check that. And you can go onto that quiz, but you only get one attempt at that quiz. Okay, so you go onto that quiz, you'll have 30 minutes to complete it. There are 15 questions, they're multiple choice questions. Okay, so if you've done the revision, you shouldn't have a problem with that. Okay, then I can check to see what maybe people are not too sure about, and then I'll be able to make some edits from there. Okay, and 2 or 3, and then we get to, after you've completed that, just making a little edit there. 3 or 3, good. Okay, so what it says there so your assignment will be the online quiz. Then you will need to do the lesson 3 here though. Okay, if you make the notes for lesson 3 and upload it, that's great if I could check it, but it's your choice. Okay, so I want you just to read through the PowerPoint that I send and watch the video. Now if you've got this far, you're watching the video right now, so just continue watching and I'll give you some instructions of what to do. So if you open up that PowerPoint, which is about Bahamian landscapes, now you can put the date, whenever date you do it on, hopefully this week, and we're going to describe, so we're going to identify and describe the various Bahamian landscapes. Now all I do, just write down that title and objective so we can go forward from there. You can pause the video and do that so I can continue. So really there are 4 main geological landscapes in the Bahamas. I'll give you a second, try and see if you can actually think of those 4. Maybe if pause the video and see if you can. Even play hangman with somebody else. If you've already looked at the answers, you can text them and do it from there. Your choice. So we are going to look at these 4 types of geological landscapes found in the Bahamas. So we've got the rocklands, and yeah, we've been kind of done that geology unit, so that shouldn't be too difficult. We've got the wetlands. Now you're famous like the coral reefs, mangroves, lagoons, etc. Okay, then we've got the coastlands. Now Bahamas is famous for the coastlands. That's just really where the land meets the sea. Okay, so as we've got so many islands here, that's a large percentage of the Bahamas. And areas of high land, which is these ridgelands, okay? And we'll look at these in more detail next lesson. So today, really, it's just going to be a bit of an introduction where you make some short notes, okay? And we'll build on, okay? So next week, we'll come back to this, but we're going to look about how the Bahamas was formed, okay? And as I said, we'll look at the 4 main types of landscapes that the Bahamas have. Now, there's also other types of landscapes which the Bahamas don't have. Can you think of any? So for example, we've got like river landscapes, mountain landscapes. They all cannot be found in the Bahamas. Okay, so there's no mountains, no rivers. Okay, as we've done about rivers in water, that we don't have them here. Okay, but we'll come to that next lesson. So if you could make like just a subheading, ridgelands. So they are areas of high land and they can be quite narrow. Often they're quite close to the ocean. Now notice that it's only about 200 feet. And that's the highest point in the Bahamas. That's something good to remember. And that's Cat Island. Now that is not a mountain, okay? So we don't have any mountains in the Bahamas. So that is that. So just make a note, ridgelands, give an example, and then, so pause the video, then move on, okay? Rocklands. So these areas of where the kind of rock is exposed, okay, and they're usually flat. We've got here, so where there's more rains, there's going to be more vegetation, as we can see here. I think that's, and we've got here this blue, so we've got this blue hole here. So these are often found in these kind of rocklands where the rock has been exposed. Examples, Long Island, New Providence, etc. Okay, so make a note of those, then we can move on. The other one, wetlands. Now you might recognize that photo. Areas that are covered for at least with water for at least part of the year. Okay, not usually, not all year round, but for part of the year. Okay, so. And the vegetation that is found in this area is going to be kind of water-loving vegetation, as it's written here. Okay. The left picture is these kind of red mangroves, and we'll look at those in more detail. Now, these are really important for the Bahamas. Let's zoom in there, but you can make your picture bigger on yours. I'll just do it there. Really important. They have loads of biodiversity. Protection from hurricanes. Now, maybe you've been up to Bonefish Pond on New Providence that is an example of these kind of wetlands area. We've got from there. Then we've got like the Blue Lagoon here. So we've got salt flats. So I think on this next page, So got the wetlands here. Other examples of wetlands. Yeah, we've got the salt flats in Aguirre, and I don't know if I pronounced that wrong, and I'm sure you'll point it out to me. And go from there. And so you've made a note about the wetlands. On to the fourth one to make a note, nice and easy. Coastal land, area where the land meets the sea. Now, this will vary a lot depending on the geology. Now, in the Bahamas, as you can see on here, it's the geology and the waves. So now, if we look at these waves here, these are much more destructive waves, okay? And that's going to create more erosion. While here, the waves are nice, gentle and shallow, what you would expect in the Bahamas. And this is where we get lots of deposition, and so that creates that layer of sediment, which creates the limestone that we find in the Bahamas, okay? Here, I think it's in Portugal, which is known for some of the biggest waves in the world, and it creates this erosion here and these different landforms we've got from there. And final one, this is in the UK, and as we can see, so we would have the waves hitting here, where my arrow is, and when the waves hit here, it's had something different. What do you think has made it so this has eroded faster than this? Yep, you got it right. Yep, because of the different type of geology. I'm just saying you got it right because I trust you that much. These landscapes range from sand dunes to beaches to sand spits, depending on the material found along the coast, so depending on the geology there, okay? So yeah, make a note of those. So you've done this week, so you've done the review of the geomorphology unit, you've done the quiz, and now you've introduced yourself to Bahamian landscapes. Next week, you will be using the Bahamian landscapes book, which I have here. So make sure you have access to this, okay? So you might be able to do, if you have some spare time this week, maybe you want to do a little bit of extra reading, and that will help you for next week because we'll do some worksheets and start on Bahamian landscapes. Okay, hope everyone is well. Any questions, just drop me an email and I'll be able to help you from there. Okay, thank you very much.